Good afternoon, Facebook audience. This is Jennifer Noreen with Gary Parker, the owner of Barbecue to You here
Hi
in Gig
guys.
Harbor. Always good to see you, Gary.
Yeah, good to see you.
So there's
How?
just way too much to talk about. So
Yeah, there is. There is. It's a fun time of the year, right? I mean, spring is coming early this year. Do you guys remember last year, right? We were all sitting around in April and we're going, man, it's cold, right? You never could quite get that cold tent out of the air, right? And I've talked to a lot of people about this, and they remember it too. It's just like it would never go away. Then finally on the 4th of July, which is traditional, I guess, for this part of the world, um, it finally warmed up and we all forgot about it, right? But
yeah,
this year, man, I mean, we're sitting here with some gorgeous, late June, early July weather, and it's only
yeah,
April.
it's
And
like summer
you know what that means, right?
catering
Oh, it's time for barbecue. So,
parties,
so I
barbecue.
hope, I
That's
hope
right.
you, I hope you guys listened to me on the last Fireside Chat, right? Get them pits clean in March, right? Because April, you're going to want to start barbecuing. So here we go, baby. You right? No time right now to be going out there lifting that pit and going, oh man, look at that mess I got to clean up. You know, that's why we do it early. So that right now you could go out and put your steaks on and have some great barbecue.
Have a cue.
Have a cue. There you
That's
go.
right. I know. I thought you were being a crazy Texan when you were telling us to clean up in March. I was like, Gary, people don't barbecue in the Northwest in March. It usually rains here till the end of April.
Yeah.
And so, but now I think you have your senses about you. So,
There you go.
so are you busy? What's up? What's up with your restaurant? And we just had an announcement about phase two. Is that throwing you, or how's business at Barbecue Two in Gig Harbor?
Well, I like to say it modulates us, right? So yeah, we were at 50%. We'll back up a little bit and go back to 25%. But we didn't really bite on that whole go to full 50%, go to full blown out, stuff. So I didn't go around bringing tables back in or anything like that. We put a few more chairs out, but we're kind of waiting to see this thing. See how the weather gets warm and see how this thing modulates a little bit before we get overly committed in bringing that full capacity of the lobby back online, right? But we
Mm.
have quite a few chairs, and it's enough to provide seating for those who just really are adamant about wanting to eat at the restaurant and not have to take home all the time. And so
Mhm.
we've had some really great experiences the last month or so.
So I know you filled back up really quick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Hmm.
we do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the whole reopening thing, but people are so excited, so happy, right, to get out
Mhm.
and be able to go to a restaurant again,
Right.
right?
And just get
And
out of their homes and not be working at home and with their kids 24 hours a day. And
yeah,
not that they don't love their children, but
yeah, and it's that, and we've seen a lot of, we've seen the lunchtime business meetings, where they'll sit in and they'll have their nice lunch and they'll sit for an hour and talk about what have you. We've seen the family dinners, right?
hmm hmm
Come back in. Um,
hmm
and everybody's being so well behaved, staying away from everybody, and still keeping things separate. But it's been a real pleasure. That I know that the staff really likes it a lot when we have customers in, because they really like that interaction, with people, and
Yeah,
we get more time to have fun with folks, right, when they're here, and rather
sure.
than just the 5 minutes that you're standing there and getting your order cut for you.
Yeah, because you're such a social business and it's all about family and eating
Right,
together and breaking bread and hanging out with the community. So
right.
it's kind of been silly that it's only been takeout for a while, but it sounds like things are getting somewhat back to normal.
Yeah.
So, is there anything going on in the sort of background of the restaurant industry that you want to talk about? I know that you've been at this for a while now, and COVID has brought some challenges. So, what's kind of going on with that?
Oh, yeah. In the background, what everybody doesn't see, right,
Hmm.
is how difficult it is right now to get supplies. Um, and it's one of those things where we got so many restaurants across the country opening up that it's putting such pressure onto the supply chain for the broadliners and the people that guys like me have to work with, right, to get all those supplies in the back door, right.
Hmm.
And it's got two adverse effects, and you're going to see this in restaurants. I don't care where you go. I don't care what restaurant it is. It's not about just about barbecue. It's about everybody.
Right.
There are going to be days you walk into restaurants right now, and they're just not going to have an item. It's just
Hmm.
simply not going to be there because they couldn't they couldn't get it. It's not about ordering more, right? It's about whether you can get it at all at this point, because the whole infrastructure, from where it's manufactured to where it gets into the warehouses to how it moves from warehouses to restaurants, whether that's through companies like U.S. Foods like we use, or whether that's you going over to Costco, right? Um,
Sure.
and it happens. It's like everybody knows that we like putting Laffy Taffy right up there for the counter for the kids and what have you, right? Is out. You couldn't get it this week, right? And things like that. And it just things
Not
will just.
Laffy Taffy. That's tragic.
Yeah,
That's
I know, right?
horrible.
So
Yeah.
of course, you can run around to other stores and go grab a small item like that, but
Mhm.
the point is, it's not there in the supply chain in the normal places, right? Meat's another one, because I'm a big, obviously, the barbecue. We buy tons and tons and tons of meat. Um, there's a big inflation spike going on in meat right now. I'll give you an idea. Just within one day of this week, brisket prices went up 45 cents.
Oh, wow. Brisket
Right,
price is up 45 cents a
a
pound.
pound in one day.
And how
In
does that
one day.
compare to how much it's gone up since COVID started, period?
Oh, yeah, it's probably moved. I want to say it's moved about 50 cents. We were running around 250 a pound. Costco's, we're running probably about three if you to put it more in a public view, right?
Mhm.
And then now like I said, my world is approaching like $4 a pound.
Wow.
So, right, for a brisket now. So,
Yeah.
so it's moving pretty hard, and there's nothing we can do about it, right? It's just the meat availability is what's going on, and the suppliers are struggling to get it. And so, anytime something's in that high demand, of course, we get inflation, and guess who gets to pay that problem or get through that problem? And it's the
You.
restaurant. Yeah, I get it, and
You
then
and then the consumer.
there's a delay
Mhm.
because guys like me will try to absorb that for as long as we can.
Mhm.
But when it becomes apparent that it's just not going to be a spike, that it's going to be an ongoing thing, then we have to pass that on to customer, right? So expect restaurants, not only me, but restaurants to, if they haven't done it already, they're going to start adjusting their menu pricing, right? Because we're getting it handed to us, and we've got to hand it to somebody else, right? So
Yeah. So you're paying more for your supplies, and you're also finding that some supplies are just plain not available.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so some of that burden will be hopefully not crazily shared, but somewhat shared with the consumer. Sounds
yeah.
like you're going to have to adjust some of your prices.
We do, especially for those things that look like they're going to last a long time. And
Mhm.
the supply chain on proteins, or should I say, supply chain on meats, is really under stress right now, and it's going to take a while. When you think of all the thousands and thousands and thousands of restaurants across this country that are opening up, and everybody wants their steaks, and everybody wants their barbecue, and everybody wants their briskets, right? And people don't know. Here's a trivia fact, right? So you say, well, what's the big deal about a brisket, right? Well, brisket, is also how you make pastrami, right? So you've got factories out there competing. I'm competing with
Oh,
factories
right. Yep.
who want those briskets, right? And there's only
Mhm.
so many cows. They can only process so many cows so fast, right?
Sure.
And so you get that, and then we just came through the corned beef phase, right? So there's this massive pull on beef right now. Another one, not involved with me, but cod shortage. Right, we've blown through all these restaurants that do seafood. They've blown through the cod supply, and so people are scrambling to go figure out where that's coming from. Just to take it away from beef for a second, right? So you see these things a lot.
Yeah,
We had
so
one.
it's not just the red meat industry, it's the fish, it's all
Yeah,
kinds of odds
yeah,
and ends
yeah,
things. Yeah.
chicken is another one. We just went through March Madness, right? And we've seen up to 1 week delays on getting cases of chicken thighs in here. The stuff that we do, right?
Mhm.
Wings are almost non-heard of, right? And so this is what I'm saying. So the message is not a negative message. It's actually a very positive message that I want to pass on, because when you see this massive demand, pulling on the system like it is, that tells you that we're all opening back up, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
everybody's got their orders in, and the factories are going to take a little while to figure out what they got to do to get things going. You know,
Sure.
they've been on reduced staffs. Now they've got to figure out how to get their staff back in. They've got to figure out how to get the stuff in the process to get it out to the warehouse. It's going to take us a good part of the summer, I think, for this
Yep.
supply chain to straighten out. So
So you're
guys like,
you're recalibrating. It's all recalibrating right now.
it's really what it is, and I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
very positive sign. That's what I want to. I want to give people a heads up that you're going to see restaurants scrambling, and you're going to see some inflation, and you're going to see some things like that going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's good to get it going, because the sooner we get it going, the sooner we'll get it out, and everything will level back out. Right.
Sure. Yep, I hear you. And I think there's definitely a clear message that they're being cautious, they're masking up and distancing, but they really want to be out with their friends and family again. And
They do.
they're ready to be doing that, especially going into the summertime.
I do.
So I know the last time we spoke, philanthropy is always a topic for us. So
Yeah.
I know last time we spoke, you were starting to help the local schools with
Oh yeah.
a receipt, putting the receipt in the bucket. And I also saw recently that you have a Marybridge Children's Hospital bucket, which is just near and dear to my
Yeah.
heart with the background I have with one of my child.
Right.
Um, and so, tell me more about that.
Oh yeah,
So,
it's the process we continue to run. We're on I think Marybridge is just the latest. I think this is the fourth or fifth one we've had in here now. But anyway, schools, PTAs are coming at us. It's a real simple process, right? We want these organizations to say, "Hey, go to Barbecue to You," right? That helps
mhm,
us. And then on the other side, if you have those people that do that, if they'll put the receipt in the jar, which is right there, we don't make it hard to put it in there. It's right there next to where you're standing, right? Put it in the
yep,
jar. At the end of the week or their time period, we take all those receipts, we add up all the subtotals. 10% of it goes back to the people that we're supporting, right? So it's a direct cash kind of way to help schools, PTAs. We've had teachers give us a call, you know and it really helps them. They need those few hundred extra bucks, right, to of just a straight donation like that to really
sure.
help them get going again. And
And
so
why schools? Why schools and not, obviously schools and hospitals, but
yeah. Right. It's just because those folks are coming out right now. You got to remember, this is another one of those COVID things that people don't think about. But all this fundraising that goes on, right? That the kids can't get out and do that. You don't see kids walking around selling chocolate bars. You don't see them walking around, doing all the things like we used to do, right? Because they can't. They're shut down from doing that, right? There's too much
right,
liability in it. So how do these organizations get those bucks, right? They've got to find new ways, and so we're just offering for the community as one small business. Here, I can do this for you. Just tee up. I give you a week. You go out and tell people. We'll sit here and serve them great barbecue. Tell those people to drop that receipt in the box, and then I just write you a check at the end of the week, right?
right.
It's
Because
it's
kids
really
can't go
simple,
door to door. So, I
right?
mean, not that they can't go door to door. They can't be out in public. They can't be in front of the grocery stores. There's a lot of things like that that aren't happening. So,
Right.
this is a way for the community to give to the schools without, having
Yeah.
kids out in an unsafe situation. So,
Yeah. So
very
and
cool
again,
thing that you're doing for the community. So, sounds like you're super positive about the demand for what you do, which is great. Is
yeah.
there anything about you're growing though, right? I mean, aren't
Oh
you
yeah, we're
opening
cool.
another restaurant?
Oh yeah, we did. It's open now. We diversify a little bit. So for those who haven't followed that one, we bought another restaurant up in Bremerton, right downtown
Mhm.
Bremerton. It's called Little Boston Pizza. So we're now we do barbecue and we do pizza,
So Little
right?
Boston Pizza,
Yeah,
right there near
it's
the
true.
U.S. Navy base,
Yeah, right there
across
by
the
the
street. Yep.
right there by the ferry and the Navy base, right in the middle of downtown. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We were so excited about this because it's positioned right there by the Turner Joy Museum, right, the museum ship and that boardwalk and stuff like that. And with summer coming and with things opening up, we're really looking forward to having fun with some folks and kind of bringing this culture that we do here at barbecue into the pizza world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have
Yep.
fun and supply pizza and just to help everybody get out and have a good time again,
Enjoy
right?
football and
Yeah.
eat pizza and drink beer and
That's
go
right.
out with your family again, right? Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, so when should we look forward to hearing more about Little Boston Pizza? I know it's open. It's open to the public now, right?
Yeah, we're open 11 to 8
Mm-hmm.
every day except for Sunday. We on Sundays we open at 12, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're ready. We've got full menu going. We just finished all our licensing, so now I can get the beer cooler filled up, that kind of thing. So you
Mm-hmm.
know, and yeah, we've got chow now, just like we do here at barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and up there on that store, chow now will do both the online and the delivery. So you
So
don't
Chow Now is your online ordering system, right?
online ordering
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we've got a 5 mile radius up there. It's actually a bigger radius than here at Barbecue to You. It's a bigger radius than DoorDash gives us here, right?
Oh wow.
Which
Mm-hmm.
I think is really cool. So they'll deliver in
Mm-hmm.
a 5 miles around downtown Bremerton, and that covers a lot of space. Everything from Port Orchard, almost up to Silverdale, all the way over,
Mm-hmm.
almost and over to Gorst, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a lot of territory, right? It'll cover.
So,
So
so what have you learned about the pizza business in your short time in the pizza business? How does it compare to Barbecue to You?
it's fun. It's a different kind of fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
We love making pies, right? And I don't know about you, but I eat a lot of pizza anyway. I always have, and I love a great pizza. The thing that I have the most fun with is trying to understand everybody's perspective of what makes a great pizza, right?
Yeah.
Because some people
People are
are
very
like,
opinionated about the kind of pizza they like.
what's fun because some are all about the crust and some are all
Yeah.
about the toppings, right? And then driving those balances and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
just like barbecue, just like in barbecue, pizza's the people's food, right? And there's a lot of similarities. Well, pizza has its own unique history. It's really kind of cool to look at that and see how that shaped America, just like barbecue shaped America, right? And
Mm-hmm.
for those who don't know me, I'm a history buff on this kind of stuff, right? And in fact,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite shows is on the History Channel. Food that built America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And me and my wife,
Not surprising.
we watch that show every week, right? When it
Mm-hmm.
puts out that new episode. Really a cool thing to understand how food shaped America. And so there's a lot of parallels that go on, even though it's a completely different food culture, with
Mm-hmm.
barbecue than barbecue then. But yeah, it's that's what I've learned most right now is how much fun this is going to be. I haven't mastered the throw it in the air and spin it around or anything like that, but I got some guys that know how to do that, right? And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I met your
um,
buddy James last week when I was there.
yeah, it's kind of
Seems
fun,
like he
right?
knows what's going on. No, he
Yeah,
said, "Oh, I've been running this place for years. I know exactly what I'm doing."
yeah,
He's a pretty interesting guy to talk to. So you
exactly.
got Barbecue to You in Point Positick, Gig Harbor,
Yep,
and you have Little Boston Pizza down in Bremerton. And
right.
we'd love to see people out at both. Give us a
Yep,
comparison shop. I'd love to
right.
know what you think of Gary's new pizza joint. And sounds like you're busy at Barbecue to You. There's
Oh,
a good demand for what you do in both places, and
right.
sounds like things are going well. In
They
between
are.
there, you're helping out some schools, which is
Yep,
awesome. So,
yep.
are you still doing the
Yes.
Friday morning senior feed?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I just got through a little while ago. Probably made about 80 boxes this morning, right? So they're
Wow,
still just as
good,
popular as they were.
good. That's awesome to hear.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, Gary. It's always good to talk with you. Good to hear about
Yep.
your new news about your new restaurant and the challenges still of COVID, but it sounds like you're still thriving in the midst of all that. So
Hey,
we'll
hey,
be talking to you again.
hold on, don't go yet.
Oh,
I got a question for you.
oh
I got a question
no.
for you. So I heard a birdie told me you were on a podcast. How did that
Oh, I
go?
am. I am going to be on a podcast tomorrow morning,
Oh,
and
tomorrow
I'm going to
morning.
be yes tomorrow morning
Okay.
with a bunch of other crazy entrepreneurs with a guy named
Uh huh.
Joe Pardo. Sorry,
Uh huh.
and we're just going to be chatting it up about all the different things that are involved in digital media entrepreneurship. And
Right.
there is a ton of stuff going on right now with Google and Apple and Facebook. All the big players are shifting right now, and
Yeah.
it is changing the world for small business digital media. I mean, I service a lot of small businesses, and
Hmm.
I am making, honestly making it up some days
Right.
because I want to keep serving my customers, but the demands and the changes from the corporate level is just insane. It's
It
it's
is.
things like privacy laws, like the Apple phones
Right.
aren't going to allow the Facebook data scanning like it did. That all of it's when you log on to Facebook, you're going to be limited, and you're going to be asked if you would like Facebook to collect your consumer
Right.
data. Whereas right now they're doing it whether you like it or not. So from a consumer perspective, you're probably happy about that. But if you're an advertiser and you're trying to reach new people and tell them about Gary's new pizza joint, that's a disadvantage, and a disadvantage to my clients. So it's a little controversial, but it is more change than I've seen since I've been in the industry, which has been over 20 years. So I'm trying to keep people like Gary with lots of fun new traffic in their restaurants, and help my other clients. And it's a trick. So I'm going to be talking about that. I have 20 minutes to kind of give an overview of that tomorrow, and I'm going to be talking about that at 10 to 10 tomorrow. You can find the link on my my Facebook page.
Cool. Yeah, because I can attest to you as a small business owner, that thing is and you guys know I'm kind of a tech background, and it is almost impossible. It has been almost impossible to navigate, and now they probably just made it an order of magnitude harder to navigate, right? So I'm telling all my peers, all my small business owners, you got to have social media. It's not about the mom and pop thing that you're doing on Facebook anymore, right? You've got to go get a professional to help you if you're serious about doing this, because it's too much. It's just too complicated, and it's too much to do by yourself.
It is, and I've been in it for 20 years, and you're a techie, and you're saying it's too much. So we have a machine that we build for people, especially on social media and email, and we'll help you with your website if you want it. But we have a little machine we put in place for you so that it can be running in the background for you with the messaging that you like and the pictures that you want. And then the in-between things that go on are kind of the secret sauce, where you're posting yourself as the client, or we're doing something special for you. But you want to have that machine running. It's too big of an opportunity to drive traffic to a restaurant or to collect leads. You know, if you're we have an accountant who's collecting leads, and other businesses that are very successful getting leads on Facebook. But it's a whole combination of things. It's the advertising, it's the boosting, it's the regular posting. Now on Instagram, it's the mini micro video. I mean, it's a crazy world out there. So thanks for asking.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, Gary, take care. We'll be talking to you next month.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.